What's up, WWE Universe, and welcome, wrestling fans, to my WWE show review on Tim Reynolds Show, as we're reviewing Monday Night Raw from Providence, Rhode Island. Please like and subscribe, as we would see the show kicked off with the New Judgment Day, as they would come out to the middle of the ring to address the crowd and the WWE Universe by showing us a clip of what happened last week, after they left a path of devastation in the middle of the ring, as both the Terror Twins, both Rhea Ripley and Damian Pierce, were beat down by the Judgment Day last week on Monday Night Raw. And then Finn Balor would address the crowd by saying both Rhea and Damian are the bad guys, not the New Judgment Day. As to why, we would not get an explanation from Finn Balor, but we would hear JD McDonough chime in and say Damian Pierce got exactly what he deserved. And then, of course, Carlito would say, well, you all know that was cool, right? And then, of course, we see Dirty Dominic Mysterio try to get on the mic, but the crowd would not have any of it, folks, as he would literally get no words out with all the boos coming from the WWE crowd, and they would be interrupted by none other than the LWO, as Rey Mysterio, the Hall of Famer, would come out to address his son, saying, son, you've gone mad. You're gone crazy. You've gone loco. Why is it you're even with Liv Morgan? At least when you were with Rhea Ripley, I know one of y'all had a pair. And son, I know that wasn't you. Ooh, what a burn from his father, the Hall of Famer Rey Mysterio, as this would lead to our next match of the night, as we would see our first matchup of the evening, as it would be an 8-man tag match, as it would be the LWO taking on the New Judgment Day. And of course, these guys would tear up the squared circle, really showing a bunch of athleticism, not only from the LWO, but from the Judgment Day as well. But Liv Morgan would get involved in this matchup, and of course, Dominic Mysterio would take advantage of this, and he would get the pinfall victory over his dad, Rey Mysterio, in this one to help Judgment Day get the win. But of course, they would not be done there, as they would attack LWO and then try to put Rey Mysterio through the announcer's table before they would be helped out by the Terror Twins, as both Rhea Ripley and Damian Pierce would come out to the middle of the ring to aid LWO and make a statement against the Judgment Day, after Rhea Ripley got her hands on Liv Morgan, throwing her up against the ring post, and Damian Pierce going right after Dominic Mysterio and Finn Balor. But we would see Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Liv Morgan escape, leaving JD McDonough and Carlito in the middle of the ring, as we would see Rhea Ripley deliver a riptide onto JD McDonough, and we would see a choke slam from the heavens from Damian Pierce onto Carlito, as the Terror Twins make a huge statement before their matchup at Bash in Berlin against the New Judgment Day. Man, Finn Balor and Dominic and Liv ran like scared little chickens, man. It was awesome, and this was a great way to kick off Monday Night Raw, as we would see shortly after this, guys, backstage interview with none other than The Miz, who was asked about his rough couple of weeks that he's had since SummerSlam and how that's going to help him as he competes in the triple threat match later on that evening in the #1 contenders tournament for the Intercontinental Championship. And we would see The Miz go, hey, yeah, I've had a rough couple of weeks, but I'm going to go out there and prove to the WWE Universe why I deserve to be the next Intercontinental Champion. But we would see Big Bronson Reed come in and interrupt The Miz and let Miz know a little secret and say, I'm coming after you next, Miz, when I'm finished with Braun Strowman. Whoo, what some big words from Bronson Reed, who has been really wrecking havoc across Monday Night Raw for the past month, including taking out R-Truth, Seth Rollins, and hurting The Miz a whole lot. And we would see next up after this, guys, another backstage video there where we would see Xavier Woods getting ready for his matchup, and he would be welcomed by Kofi Kingston, as the New Day members would be talking it out after last week, where it seemed Xavier Woods was a little upset on the fact that Kofi Kingston tagged in Odyssey Jones and not him in their tag team matchup against the Final Testament. Well, of course, after seeing the video footage, Xavier Woods said everything's okay, water under the bridge, and Kofi Kingston would say, hey, see how two grown men can actually work stuff out and talk stuff out. So it looks like both Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston are back on the same page, as the New Day has to focus on their matches later in the evening rather than the deception between each other that the Karrion Kross and Final Testament was trying to do by driving a wedge in between those guys, right? But we'll have to wait to see what happens with the New Day going forward. And we would see that our next match of the night would be a tag team match, as we would see Damage Control, the team of Io Sky and Kairi Sane, going up against Pure Fusion Collective, the team of Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler. With Sonya Deville at ringside, we would see a really, really great matchup between these two tag teams. But Selena Vega would come and get involved and take out Sonya Deville outside of the ring, which distracted both Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler, as Io Sky and Kairi Sane would take advantage to get another victory over Pure Fusion Collective, as Damage Control looks to make another statement with another big victory here against the Pure Fusion Collective. And then, guys, we would see another video promo. This one would be of Bo Dallas's Uncle Howdy, who would make his in-ring debut later on that evening, but he would let us all know about how Chad Gable's really been messing up. He's been looking at shedding the tears of the innocent and bullying the Alpha Academy and coming after these guys, and the Wyatt Six has tried to warn him. Uncle Howdy's tried to warn him and tried to show him, hey, you're gonna get beat down. But Uncle Howdy promises to make a huge statement against Chad Gable in the main event matchup on Monday Night Raw. Whew, what a scary video too, man. Uncle Howdy and the Wyatt Six are not to be messed with. And we would see up after this, Drew McIntyre would join the WWE Universe in the middle of the ring, addressing the crowd before his big matchup against CM Punk at Bash in Berlin, which would be a strap match. And of course, he's excited about this because big Drew McIntyre thinks a strap match is going to his advantage. But after talking a bunch of smack and blaming the WWE Universe, enabling CM Punk to be, well, CM Punk, we would see CM Punk actually underneath the ring live on his Instagram account before he would attack Drew McIntyre with that strap. But of course, Drew would get a couple of claps back before we would see security come out to the middle of the ring to have to separate these guys. But security got it too from CM Punk, as he would hit them with the strap as well. And man, I cannot wait to see this big matchup where CM Punk will be taking on Drew McIntyre in a strap match at Bash in Berlin this upcoming weekend. Wow, these two are really ready to beat the living heck out of each other. And we would see next up after this, guys, a video promo for Braun Strowman, who is promising to teach Bronson Reed a lesson after he's been pretty much the bully on the playground the past few weeks. Braun Strowman promises to show Reed why he is called the monster of all monsters. And then we would see next up our next match of the night, as we would get started out with Jey Uso coming through the crowd, getting everybody all hyped up and ready, as he would say, hit my music, and watching everybody just yeet, 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 and be yeeting everywhere, including Corey Graves at the commentary table with the GOAT Michael Cole, as Corey Graves joins Michael Cole once again for Monday Night Raw for the next couple weeks, before both of them will be going over to Friday Night SmackDown as that heads over to USA Network. Yo, I've never seen Corey Graves so funny trying to do the yeet. That was so funny, and Michael Cole was letting him have it. But this would lead to our next match of the night, as it would be a triple threat match in the #1 contenders tournament for the Intercontinental Championship, as it would be Jey Uso versus Karrion Kross versus Kofi Kingston. And after an incredible match by all three competitors, of course, you seen your boy, main event Jey Uso, get the victory in this one, as he moves on to the Fatal 4-Way next week on Monday Night Raw in the Intercontinental Championship Tournament. Wow, what a really good match, guys. And we would see short up after this, Randy Orton would join the WWE Universe and the crowd in the middle of the ring, thanking the WWE Universe for singing his song. His entrance song means so much to him, and he was showing love and appreciation to all of the crowd in WWE Universe for that. But he also addressed Gunther ahead of their matchup at Bash in Berlin, as he would say, hey, yes, Gunther, it is true. I do have my demons, and I've had to overcome them and conquer them and become better because of them. But you are the one who made things personal when you talked about my grandfather and my father and the legacy. Well, he plans on showing Gunther why he is a 14-time champion and plans on being a 15-time World Heavyweight Champion by going ahead and using the 3 most dangerous letters in all of WWE and sports entertainment. RKO! And man, I cannot wait to see this championship match, as it will be the champion Gunther, the Ring General, taking on the Viper, the Legend Killer, Randy Orton. Whew, that's going to be a really good matchup, guys. And we would see after this, guys, our next big match of the night, as it would be Braun Strowman taking on Big Bronson Reed. And this one would not last long inside the ring. After these two beat the living heck out of each other, it looked like Bronson Reed was going to run away, like literally get counted out. He was done with the match, but the fight would not stop there. Just because the match stopped doesn't mean the fight did, as it would spill into the backstage area and even into the parking lot. And folks, this was crazy to think about and see for your own eyes, as we would see Braun Strowman really handled the security, putting one of them through a freaking table and throwing them across the freaking backstage area. Then he would throw Big Bronson Reed into 2 different cars, including slamming it on the hood of a Cadillac, before Bronson Reed would find himself a lead pipe of sorts and use that weapon against Braun Strowman, hitting him and beating him down. And Braun Strowman would lay on top of this Cadillac. And then we would see Bronson Reed getting up on what looks like a concrete barrier and hitting a giant tsunami through Braun Strowman, through a Cadillac, through the roof practically, man. The glass just breaks everywhere. This was one of those old school WWE type moments, man, as Big Bronson Reed makes a huge statement. And when we seen after the commercial break that Braun Strowman was getting medical attention, Bronson Reed walked away and said, I don't want medical attention. Whew, what a big statement made by the Big Bronson Reed there, guys. And we would see next up after this, our next match of the night, which will be none other than another triple threat match for the Intercontinental Championship Tournament. As we would see Pete Dunne going up against The Miz and going up against Xavier Woods, as these 3 would battle it out right when it looked like Xavier Woods was about to get the victory in this one. Pete Dunne would use the triple threat rules to his advantage, pulling the referee out of the ring by his feet, stopping the 3 count, and then kicking the heck out of Xavier Woods out of the ring before he would get the pinfall victory over The Miz, as Pete Dunne advances to the Fatal 4-Way next week, just like Jey Uso, in the #1 Contenders Championship Tournament for the Intercontinental Championship. Whew! That's a mouthful. And we would see after this actually a backstage interview with the Intercontinental Champion himself, who was asked about what he thought about his future opponents now after the 2 triple threat matches. As he would give complimentary things to both Jey Uso and Pete Dunne, he would also give out a warning, telling Jey Uso to leave his name out of his mouth, and also warning Pete Dunne that he's not really ready to get into the ring with Braun Breaker. Man, what a great Intercontinental Champion, and I know this guy's really going to be focused on next week's Monday Night Raw to see who wins that Fatal 4-Way match and becomes the #1 contender for his Intercontinental Championship. And then, guys, after this, we would see the Terror Twins, who would also give us a little bit of a video backstage and a preview as far as what they're going to be doing to both Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio at Bash in Berlin, as they would say, hey, right here, we are the bad guys. That is right. That is absolutely a fact. And you guys are about to find out why they're the bad guys. And also speaking in his native tongue, Rhea Ripley actually was, we would also say that means that they're the devils coming after them. They're devils coming after them. Wow, what a big statement made by Rhea Ripley and Damian Pierce, as I cannot wait to see Bash at Berlin and them get their hands on Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan. And then we would see after this, guys, a tribute video to the late, great Psycho Sid Vicious, who passed away at the age of 63. May he rest in peace. This was a great tribute video by the WWE. Then, guys, we would see our main event of the evening, as it would be the American-made Chad Gable taking on Uncle Howdy of the Wyatt Six, who makes his in-ring debut. And what a matchup, folks. These two would definitely leave it all in the middle of the squared circle before we would see the Creed brothers and the Pitbull get involved to try to help out Chad Gable against Uncle Howdy, beating up Uncle Howdy behind the referee's back before the Wyatt Six would come to aid their leader as they would go ahead and take care of the Creed brothers, getting them and the Pitbull out of the arena, away from the ring. And as that distraction happened, we would see Uncle Howdy take advantage of that on Chad Gable and hit him with a sick Sister Abigail, as Uncle Howdy would get the victory in his debut matchup in the main event of Monday Night Raw. And guys, this has been your WWE show review from Tim Reynolds Show. Please like and subscribe to the channel for more sports news, football news, and wrestling content, and WWE content, and sports entertainment right here on Tim Reynolds Show. Thank you guys so much for all the support. Be sure to check out my channel for more WWE show reviews of Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown. And I will also be doing the PLEs, as we'll be getting ready to give you guys a preview of Bash in Berlin. And also can't wait to give you guys a review of the Bash in Berlin coming up next week too on Tim Reynolds Show. Please like and subscribe, guys. Thank you so much. Peace out, everybody. Have a great day.